Thank you, Jordan. And it really is, it's such a treat to be here with all of you today, and especially with you, Jordan. So Jordan taught me everything I know. He's an extraordinary teacher and wonderful, wonderful human. So I always like to start by looking in the chat to see what's on people's hearts for this day. And what I see a lot today is pain around our country, which is completely understandable. When I found the teaching that I decided to share this morning as a lead into our meditation, it just seemed to me that it really is perfect for what's going on around us right now and inside of us as well. So Jordan, might I ask you to do a screen share? I want to begin with a small piece of this week's Torah portion, Balak. And Balak, it's interesting because we know more of the story of Balaam in the parasha of Balak, Balaam who had the whole incident with his donkey. But Balak begins by sharing this text with Balaam. And it really, really struck me when I read it, and it struck me when I found the commentary. Jordan, if we could make that just a tiny bit larger. Beautiful, perfect. Va'ata l'chana ar'ali et ha'am hazeh ki atzum hu mimeni. Ulai uchal nakebo va'agarshenu min ha'aretz ki yadati et asher tevarech mevorach va'asher ta'or you are. And now, please, this is Balak talking to Balaam. And now, please come curse for me this people, because they are too numerous for me. Perhaps I will be able to defeat them. If we can scroll up just a little bit, Jordan. I will be able to defeat them and drive them out of the land. For I know whomever you bless is blessed indeed, and whomever you curse is cursed. And this is actually an echo of a text that we see in Genesis when God is talking to Abraham about Abraham's descendants. And then I found this incredible comment by the Beit Ramah. And it just made me go, oh my gosh, why didn't Balaam hire Balak to bless his own people rather than to curse Israel? Again, pulling from the text, since whom you bless is blessed indeed. And I thought, what a beautiful, beautiful lesson for our time, for us right now. So I'd like to begin with a melody to this metta practice from the Buddhist tradition. And if we can scroll up just a tiny bit, again, Jordan, to the top, towards the other, yeah, beautiful. You may know this meditation. It may be familiar to you. A melody came to me for this meditation, which I invite you to listen to or sing if it speaks to you. But let's begin by finding a space, settling our bodies in a way that feels restful and yet dignified. May I be safe. May I be happy. May my body be strong. May my life unfold with ease. May I be safe. May I be happy. May my body be strong. May my life unfold with ease. May I be safe. May I be happy. May my body be strong. May my life unfold with ease. Let's bring our attention back to our physical bodies for a moment. Feeling our feet resting on the ground. If you're in a chair, feeling your lower legs. I meant a cushion, feeling your lower legs against the ground. And whichever position you're in, feel your feet supported by the earth underneath you. Even if you're 30 feet up in the air, 30 stories up in the air, feel the ground of the Mother Earth pushing you up and supporting you. Allow your knees to drop down. Feel your sit bones, your thighs dropping down, supporting you as they do. Bring your awareness to your pelvic girdle. Feeling the center of your body as the earth's energy pushes up through you to help you extend your spine. And release your jaw. See where your heart is right now. Perhaps you can soften it just a little bit. And notice that energy from the Mother Earth coming all the way up through the sides of your back, out into your shoulders, to your arms, hands, fingers, and up through your neck, releasing your head, and yet holding it. Holding it in space with gentleness. You may notice a light coming through your crown from outside of you, the very top of your head. Notice that we are supported from both below the earth and above the cosmos. Soften your third eye, just above your eyes in the center of your forehead. And take a moment to notice if the muscles on your face could be softened. Eyes, eyebrows, cheeks and chin, temples. And open the space around your throat, allowing light to flow both in and out. And bring your attention back to rest on the heart. And as you do, notice your belly. Is it soft and allowing the breath of life to move through you? Or could it use a little relaxing as well? You may feel a connection between your heart and your belly. When anxiety is in the belly, it may tighten our hearts. And notice your navel as the breath comes and goes. And see if that too can join your heart in opening. Sense of openness from the bottom of the spine to the top of the head. This moment is a blessing. See if you can breathe that in. Your very existence is a blessing. All of the divine uniqueness that makes up who you are is a blessing. We'll take some time with this concept of being a blessing. And when you have a sense of that for yourself, or even if you can't get there, bless yourself. I bless myself with wholeness. I bless myself with calm. I bless myself with beauty. I bless myself with heart and care when I move in the world. Whatever words are your words, find the blessing or blessings that you would like to bestow upon yourself today. We'll take some time for quiet. Notice how you feel in your body as you bless yourself. You may feel a lessening of tension or an opening of spirit. Maybe you feel more in balance. And as we release the stress of the world around us and we fill ourselves up with blessing, we have enough to offer out. So if you choose, you can offer a blessing out to someone or someones as I sing this melody with you. And then with we. And if you are valuing from blessing yourself, feel free to choose to continue there. May I. May you be safe. May you be happy. May your body be strong. May your life unfold with ease. May we be safe. May we be happy. May our bodies be strong. May our lives unfold with ease.
Thank you so much. It's beautiful teaching, Robin. I know I needed that. Thank you. As is our practice here together, we seal our practice with Mourner's Kaddish. If you'd like to rise in body or spirit, you may do so. Unmute yourself so we can all hear each other in this beautiful multi-vocal Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal
V'yikadash Shemei Rabbi Ba'alma Dibra Erute V'yamich Malchute V'chaychon V'yamechon V'chaye B'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala U'ezman Kariv Yimei Heshmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Yomim Hayim Yitbarach V'shtabach Yitbar V'draman V'naseh V'tadar V'taleh V'talal Shemei D'Kedusho Elam Yankov B'Chamucha V'Shirata Hadav V'Nechemata Damiran Eishlam Rabba Mishmaya V'Chayvalena V'Yakol Yisrael Shalom B'Ramav Kuyas Shalom Aleinu v'al Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yemru. Amen.
Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
Osei shalom b'mramav, hu yasei shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yemru. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. And thank you to all those who posted people who you're holding in your heart, remembering them at this time, and please feel free to add anybody else. Again, thank you so much to Rabbi Robin Damsky of Limitless Judaism, our teacher today. Also, thanks to Jordan Pollack, who was doing tech. A double Jordan day is, I think, good luck. We'll find out, I guess. But thanks so much, Jordan. Join us again tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern for another session together. And please feel free to stay for another 15 minutes with Rabbi Robin if any of you would like to ask any questions and engage in conversation. As always, of course, you can continue your practice on your own. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Okay, Robin. Again, beautiful practice. I really enjoyed it, and especially really resonated with the music you put to our blessings today. And if I could, I wanted to start with a question.
For all those who are
A question about that really sparked for me when I was reading the description of Limitless Judaism, and then was continued to percolate as you taught and then as we practiced together. But you use this language of tilling and tending. And I know that gardening and earth-based practice is a key part of your spiritual life and your teaching. And a blessing practice like we did is very much a cultivation practice. It's about growing something. And so I'm curious if there's anything you could share that you've learned in your gardening that applies to this practice that we are doing today, and how it might enhance what we're doing.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jordan. As we speak, the last day we think of the fence that we are having put up to keep the deer out of our food forest, which is about to start being created, might complete. Say might be the completion of that job. So I've been very deeply ensoiled, right, in the earth for the last few weeks or even months as we've been preparing this project. I think that one of the gifts of the earth is that there's the opportunity there for replenishment. And so many people have said to me over the years that I feel most connected to God when I'm in nature. Everybody has their own understanding of what that word means, but I would say that when we're in creation, we have the energy of creation come into us. So sitting on the earth, smelling a tree, or just feeling the nearness of the green, there's something that's very reviving about the earth, the water, the trees, the creatures that come by, unless they're, infesting your house or something like that. It's a reminder to me, number one, of the absolute oneness and unity of all creation. And that helps me to feel like, oh, I've got so much going on, but oh, I have a cradle in which to sit. And I have an interrelationship with every creature and everything that exists on this planet. I'm not alone. I think that happens. It happens that when we feel alone or separate, that's when we can get into fear, and that's when we can get into judgment. So, a couple of thoughts,
Beautiful. To go to some of the questions, there have been a number of really great questions, interesting questions that have come, and other comments. Keep them coming. But maybe to go to what I feel like is such a great foundational question that comes from Lester. What do you mean by blessing? Bless.
Mm.
I sort of kind of know, but what does it actually mean? Great question.
Thanks for that. Lester, I'm not seeing it in my feed here. That's a great question. I'm going to answer with my hand to begin and say, I put my hand here, right? I give myself soul. And when I do that, I remind myself of the goodness that is me, of the goodness that's within, that continually comes to be within me, of the goodness around me. And I think that being a blessing or blessing oneself is to, we might say, to give oneself a gift of something, but we might also say to give ourselves the reminder that that gift is already here. I mean, I could say, may I be blessed with health if I'm not feeling healthy. Or we can, like from without, or we can say, I bless myself with good health, and see what that feels like. It's like giving ourselves a gift, or again, reminding ourselves of something that we may have maybe somehow lost connection with, the fact that it actually already is within us.
So you're saying it's I mean, at its kind of core, it's about intention, but I think you're underlining in a powerful way, and you did this in your teaching as well, the way in which we feel it, right? So it's not just an idea that's a lovely idea, but maybe it's something that I noticed that. I mean, even the way you answered with with your hands.
Yeah.
How does the body play into this?
I thank you for raising that, because I've been a dancer since my early childhood. So I just like, I think in physicality and in kinesthetic experience. So for me, there is like a body knowing, like even as I'm closing my eyes, there's a body knowing of wellness. There's a body knowing, bodily knowing maybe is better, of love. There's a bodily knowing of well-being. And it's like that blessing taps into that, and we can feel it, which is why I had us focus on different parts of our bodies as we began the meditation. We can feel it in our physical bodies. If we do this with our fist, that has a sensation. And then if we do this with our fist, that has a different sensation. Or we go like this, is another different sensation. So those sensations are not just physical, but they're emotions that are embedded within them. Is that helpful, Lester? If you need to say something more, please do.
Great. Great. And people have been asking for your source sheet. It's in the chat, but I just posted it there again. Another question that maybe I think is connected to this, because if it was as easy as just simply doing this, like we were machines in which you put in the input and then the output comes out predictably, this would all be very easy. But, and I'm picking up on Laura's question in the chat, would you offer any suggestions if my mind intellect accepts the idea that I'm a blessing and worthy of metta loving kindness meditation, but my body resists accepting it? And I suppose we could also ask the question, vice versa, if maybe my body accepts it, but my intellect doesn't. Curious what you think. Like when this feels like it's not working, what do we do?
That's great. In both instances, what is coming to me is a sense of softening. So if it's my body gets it, but my mind doesn't want to, where does softening need to take place? Because it's like there's a separation somehow, right? Between one aspect of our being and another aspect of our being. Where does that softening need to take place? And maybe the softening needs to take place somewhere in the body, or maybe the softening needs to take place in our releasing an emotion. Sometimes for me, that separation is, oh, I'm holding something. I really need to cry. I may not know how to get to that, but I know what, but sometimes just acknowledging I need to cry is a way of softening that division between the one and the other. Or I need to a hug, or I need to talk to somebody, or I need to yell, or I need to paint. Something that helps us to acknowledge that barrier and soften the barrier so that the flow can be reestablished.
And you're suggesting be creative and open to what might get us there.
Yeah, and maybe even ask the question, to say, okay, what is it that I need? What does my mind need right now to feel a sense of that blessing? Or what does my body need right now to be able to feel that blessing? And you may get an answer right away and maybe not. And if the meditation feels like it's valuable, to repeat it. And maybe at some point, your mind will say, or your body will communicate,
Beautiful. That's great. Fran, I see you raising your hand.
Hi, thank you for everything. And I'm going to look up your site and all that stuff. And I did Jewish yoga this morning. I'm going to go watch her stuff. But, from other stuff that I've done in meditation, one of the teachers once said that her teacher said, wake up in the morning and say, I love you, Fran. And if that's too hard, you can't say it, then just say good morning. So if you just lessen the thing that you don't want it to sound so good, so you can take a step back and, not make it as intense, or not that that's flattering you or making you sound better, but maybe just take a little step back from all that you want to say, because then it doesn't sound so, and I don't mean, I can't think of the right word, but so it doesn't sound so demanding or so conceited or so arrogant, or, just a little further back.
Yeah, and it may not actually be, it could be, arrogance or that sense of feeling conceited, or it could simply be, I don't know how to do this, or I feel so small. Why would I be worthy of a blessing? That could be, those both could be at play.
And the other thing, I used to teach pre-K for 20 years in New Jersey, and we always said positive affirmations and stuff like this. And even when we chanted Om, we did A, B, C. But the other thing that just got to me is the fact that you're a gardener and so am I. So I'm wondering if my interest in spirituality and Judaism and flowers and gardens and, I have to have outdoor space so I can plant, and that's made me feel really good that that's what you talked about with the garden and the nature and God and all that other stuff. So thank you.
Thanks, Fran.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We only have a couple more minutes, and there are a number of different questions in the chat that I think are beyond the scope of a 1 or 2 minute answer. The nature of good and evil, very important questions. But there's there's a thread that we're seeing in the chat as well that I'd love to get your take on, Robin, which is around bringing the practice into the world. And the example was given of, practice in the subway. How do you take this practice that you shared today to the subway? Any guidance for that?
Yeah, and I know the subway well, having grown up in New York. It's interesting. And I remember being taught this practice first by Jonathan Slater. He was my first teacher of this practice. And I've taught it, I've learned it again with Sylvia Borstein over the years. But one of the things that Jonathan said to us is that as you're beginning to bless others, you can start by thinking about somebody before we get to the subway, thinking about that person who is there for you unconditionally, a human, or has been there for you in the past, or maybe a pet or an animal that has, that you feel the sense of really unconditional love to, and bestow this blessing on them. And then we were to bestow it upon ourselves. But I think, there's a value here right now when we're feeling perhaps really villainized as Jewish people to maybe, do something nice for ourselves. And then after we get to that person who we have that unconditional relationship with, then to bring it out to somebody who maybe we don't know so much, but we see from time to time, and eventually out to somebody we don't know at all. And then eventually out even to somebody whom we might feel as an adversary. So in the subway, sometimes I'm in the subway and I look out and my eyes meet somebody and there's a smile there.
Right.
And sometimes I look out and I think, oh my gosh, that person looks like they're having a really, really bad day. And so I might offer it in that way, not necessarily engaging with them. And then there might be somebody that just really strikes me as somebody around who I'm really uncomfortable. Turn away and just bless somebody else. That's where your capacity is at that point. We can't give more than we can give. And when we do give and we can see that people receive it, that blessing enables us to, to reach out eventually to maybe more conflictual moments and places.
Amen. Really appreciate it. Clearly, there's I'm not alone in really resonating with your teaching today. Really grateful to you and everybody, and love seeing the lively conversation in the chat. Thanks to everybody for contributing to that, and really just being here together. I just posted the website to your organization again, limitlessjudaism.com, where you can find more with Rabbi Robin, and also connect with her, look for her on social media. Thank you so much to everybody, and hope to see you again soon. Have a blessed day. Take good care.
Okay, everyone. Be well.
Oh, thank